Yehuda is on the phone. Where is Yehuda? From Israel. Yehuda.
From Jerusalem.
Jerusalem. How
Hello?
are you, sir?
Hello?
Hello, sir. How are you?
Very well. How are you, Glenn?
Very good.
Yesterday you descended into the Western Wall tunnels.
Yes, I did.
I very much wanted to take you there myself. I didn't know your schedule. I was one of the archaeologists who dug in the Western Wall tunnels, and you descended down into a room below the arches.
Which one?
There were several arches that we dug.
Right.
Of the bridge. It's the bridge that the Jews originally built, and then the Romans destroyed it. Beneath those arches, there was another room. I understand that you went down some steps into a small room.
Yeah. Oh, this is the one. I think, Pat, what he's talking about is the one that you were the first American to go into.
Well, actually, he really wasn't because I'm American.
Don't take that from me.
I'm American.
He was wearing that. He already had the T-shirt printed.
Yeah.
What is that? What is that room that he went into?
The room that he went down into is actually a portion of a very large hall. This is something that we didn't know until we dug it. It took about 2 or 3 months to get down through all the rubble. We found out that it's actually a part of a very large hall that was built there before the Temple Mount was reorganized by Herod. And the scholars are thinking that maybe this was what was called the council room by Josephus, the historian.
Holy cow.
And the council room is where the great Sanhedrin sat.
I have to tell you, Pat, this is the first time Pat had ever been over to Jerusalem.
Yes.
I've been through the tunnels now probably 4 or 5 times, and it is amazing. And the rapid rate at which you guys are working and uncovering these enormous ruins all underneath the ground is incredible. The work you guys are doing is nuts.
And can you explain a little bit why it's so important to Israelis to do that work, to excavate these sites?
We're finding our history.
Yeah.
We're looking at the history of the Jewish people.
And also, and beyond just finding out your own history, you kind of want to show the world that you were there, right? Before the Palestinians were there.
This is what's really interesting to me is, and you see it, and Yehuda, tell me, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't see anybody excavating on the Palestinian side, if you will, on the Jordanian side, that they're building stuff, but I don't see anybody digging down and trying to find the history. I know
in actuality, there are archaeologists in the Palestinian Authority, and they're pretty much of the same mind as the archaeologists on the other side. There's an understanding of history there, pretty much as we understand it here as well.
Meaning
so
that they know
they
know it's Israel's land.
They understand, yes.
Yeah,
I would say that most of them.
Then how come there is such? Because that's what confuses me so much when you go over there and you hear people say, "Well, this is Palestinian land." Who? Excuse me. First of all, you could make the case that Jordan. Okay, before it was Transjordan, so it was English. There were no Palestinians. That comes from the Philistines, and it kills me because they actually are trying to convince you that they're what Temple Mount. What are you talking about? What do you mean the temple?
Yes, well, this is when I first came here. There wasn't this idea that it seemed that everybody just understood that the ruins on the Temple Mount were Jewish, that the Jewish people had been there, and that's where the temple stood. But in more recent years, they've started to deny it.
They are actually taking the ruins of the temple, or whatever ruins that might be there, on top of the Temple Mount where the Dome of the Rock is. they're actually taking and digging this all out and putting it in dump trucks and dumping it out in the desert, are they not?
Well, as quickly as possible, because they don't want the truth to come out. They don't want it known that this is where the Jewish temples were. They're trying to cover that fact up now.
Yehuda, what is the significance of this event, do you think, personally? I'm just asking you as a person. What do you think?
Well, I find it absolutely incredible. I believe that it's going to be a world-changing event at the most important place in the world. If Jerusalem is the center of the earth, the Temple Mount is the center of Jerusalem. This is the place that God had chosen for eternity, and what you're doing is very, very important, and it's giving a tremendous boost to Israel, and I think that it also to people who love the truth and who love God all over the world.
I told I met with the producers of the program last week there, and I looked them all in the eye and I said, "Do you know where you're standing?" And they all kind of looked at me like, "Yeah, Jerusalem." And I said, "This is the first throne on earth. This is it. This is God's throne." And I want to make sure that everybody understands that is putting this together. This is a royal place, and they looked at me and they said they understood. Is that the right way to describe it?
Absolutely. I think not only in the past, but
present,
but the future. What the future holds for that particular space is incredible.
Yehuda, you're doing fantastic work. I mean, it's unbelievable. I was just there in that area. I looked down at that room, I don't know, a few months ago, and it didn't look like what you guys are doing now. I can't believe the rate at what you are uncovering things underneath the wall. Is it real controversial still?
Things have to be guarded and kept quiet. There's right now I'm writing the description of the room itself. I'm trying to write up the report.
May I ask you this? You know the room that or the right there on the western wall, deep underneath ground, there is the place that is a giant archway that would have led to the closest place to the Holy of Holies. Can you tell that story in like a minute and a half on what's behind that wall? What happened with the Jewish people right behind that wall?
Well, right next to it was the synagogue in the 11th century.
Right, and
it was
and if I'm not mistaken, there are people that were sealed behind that wall.
The Crusaders attacked them.
Correct, and they were,
and so a good many people died. That right there, it's a place called Warren's Gate. It's a gate that actually goes up onto the Temple Mount.
Do we know? We don't know. You after 67, you guys tried to take that wall down to recover and put to rest some things, and then it was contested, and you had to seal that wall back. Do you have any idea?
Yes. Anything around the Temple Mount causes controversy.
Right.
We've never dug underneath the Temple Mount.
Right.
But just digging around causes all this problem. So when this gate was opened, I wasn't digging there at the time.
Right.
But when this gate was opened, there were all kinds of riots and all kinds of problems, and Israel decided to seal it up. So when you go there, you see that there's
sealed.
A cement wall there closing it off.
It's really, truly amazing. Any idea what's on the other side of that wall?
We would sure like to know. Some people have even claimed that the Ark of the Covenant is there, but there are a lot of things that go around like that, but it's
you only know when you open it.
I somewhat doubt that that's what we're going to find.
Yeah,
but at some time there will be a possibility, I think, to
It's probably like Al Capone's vault, and you're going to find an empty bottle back there.
Yeah. Geraldo. Don't invite Geraldo to be there if you ever open it. Yehuda, thank you very much, and I hope to see you next trip.
Yes, I hope to see you too.
God bless.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Bye.